Have you ever seen a perfect game of chess? Wei Yi, the often forgotten Grandmaster, played this whole game at 100 accuracy. Not part of the game, not a move, the whole game. I don't know why more people don't know Wei Yi. He became a GM at the age of 13. He's the youngest person ever to cross 2,700. He doesn't play all too often anymore, but when he does, he just plays immortal games. It's just something he likes to do. His opponent is Zhu Yinglun. This was played in 2017 in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. Zhu Yinglun is 2560 GM, and he had a bad day. And Wei Yi had a great day. We get a Najdorf, a Sicilian Najdorf. You've probably seen this many, many times. A6, bishop to g5, main line. Knight bd7, guarding the knight, and bishop to c4. Zhu Yinglun plays the critical queen b6, and Wei Yi castles. Now, the point of queen b6 is to take the pawn. So he takes the pawn. A move he will live to regret. The poison pawn is usually oh so poisonous. He probably got no sleep for a month. He probably still has nightmares about taking that. And we get knight to d5, threatening the fork on c7. He takes the knight, and before taking this knight, you did just lose a b pawn. So you lose material, but you gain activity. You get the semi-open b file, use it. Move the queen, improve your pieces, and then take the knight. Now, the immediate threat white has is taking this pawn on b7. So black retreats to c7. We get pawn to f4, a common middle game idea in Sicilians. In open Sicilians, it's a middle game idea. In closed Sicilians, it's an opening idea. Is this an open or closed Sicilian? Pawn to e6, he's like, bishop, get out of here. And for the next 8 moves, we get 4 brilliancies, and it should be 5. You'll see what I mean. Rook to e1, the least impressive one. The point is, if pawn takes bishop, this is just not something you want to deal with. You don't go into a game hoping this is what happens. You go knight e5, you lose the knight back, you're in a crummy position. It's not a great day. Knight to c5. Instead, he decides to hold on to e6, release some pressure. He's like, all right, I just got to get castled. f5, Wei Yi's like, no, please take my bishop and just play this. It's not that bad. It's pretty bad. So instead, we get bishop to e7. He's like, I need to castle. Just let me castle. Of course, Wei Yi's like, no. You can have your queen and king on the e-file where I'm attacking. We get pawn takes, a clarification. And now at one of the cooler brilliancies. Knight to f5. This pawn is literally forking. White walked into a fork, but neither of the pieces could be taken. The bishop, you lose a queen. The knight, you also lose a queen. So it cannot get taken. We get the move queen to c7. He's like, I'm one move away from castling. I got this. And then a cold shower, queen, bishop to c6. A great move. This is a brilliancy. Can we call this a brilliancy? What would you say? Bishop to c6, amazing. If pawn takes, we would get knight takes d6, check. The king would go to e7, and the king is just in a mating box. No one's going to come save the day. It's like in life. No one's going to bail you out. You got to bail yourself out. You got to be ready for anything and everything to happen. Always expect worst case scenario. Queen takes c6. We get knight takes d6 check. The king still has to move. And we get queen to g4, brilliancy number 4. Why is this a brilliancy? Well, again, it's like everything could always be taken, but it can't. It just can't get taken. Here we would get rook e to d1, king to c7, queen to f5 check. I am sorry that my voice is high this video. I am hyped if you could not tell. This is just checkmate. It's not so much better if you go king to e7. It will still lead to mate, and you'll lose material before mate, and then you'll get mated. So, also not great. So after queen g4, we get knight to d7, trying to consolidate. Now, do not take because it's not the same checkmate, right? Chess is like a system. There's a bunch of moving parts. You move one part, it's not the same position. They could block the diagonal, the dark square diagonal that is, and escape mate. Just the cool, calm, collected e5. And in this position, Zhu Yinglun resigned. Why did he resign? Well, if something like rook to g8, queen to g5 check, king moves, queen d8 is checkmate. What else could you do? Comment down below what else you could do. I guess king to d8, but then you just get forked. You're down material and your pieces are not getting out. It's a hopeless position. In my mind, this game qualifies as an immortal game. Have you guys ever seen this game? I hope not. I know he has another game where the enemy king goes on like a king march, but I feel like you guys have seen that game before, so I didn't make a video on it. As always, thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. Boom!